However, there is something very specific which struck me. The ashram inmates frequently gather for a sacred fire ceremony and a prayer which is repeated by all the ashram inmates. This is the prayer which is a dialogue which has been taken from as a dialogue between Yagyavalkya and Arthabhaga in Brihad Aranak Upanishad, and it's about it says that it is about the teaching on death by the sage. I'll read it out. The death dissolves the body in the cosmos only to rejoin their cosmic counterpart. The voice of the dead man enters the fire, his breath enters the wind, eye enters the sun, mind enters the moon. Flesh enters the earth, self enters the akash, body hair enters the herbs, head hair enters the trees, bodily fluids enter the water. This prayer spoke volumes about how community aging and ideas about a dignified death were being formed among the ashram mates. Moreover, the idea that life or death are not happening for the first time, but there were categories of Punarjanma and Punarmrityu. I found these ideas among the ashram mates strikingly different from the elderly people in an old age home in Auchan in France. Each distinct culture tends to introduce a unique set of stress in the aging individual and his or her family and community with respect to age, specific roles, norms, status, and social work. At the same time, an aging individual is also taught culturally sanctioned and defined defense mechanism to cope with the stress of aging. So I have just spelled out some of the defense mechanism which has been, it's a possible model for community aging and looking at death and decline. Also, there is a symbolic reality which enables individuals to make sense out of their inner experience. It helps shape personal identity in accordance with existing cultural, religious, and social norms. And also symbolic meanings influence basic psychological processes such as the state of consciousness, cognition, memory, and through them various other bodily functions and social roles. It is also accepted that language is a cultural system linking thought, action, and cognition. I'll have to stop here because there are more details in here. Thank you.
Let us open this to questions.
Yes.
Well, this is an interesting paper, but could you really develop a model? I mean, I don't know. Because, and you also rejected, the 53 old age homes in Delhi, right? Well, I just visited, I had a glance at one at Dwaraka called Godhuli,
Yes.
and I found, it was okay, it's fine. That's a state NGO kind of maybe joint public-private partnership. I don't know. Well, I'm not celebrating this, but I think whether the ashramas could really look after this such a huge population, and in state model also, right? You also find that there are some religious activities, prayers, right? That is also inbuilt into the state structure. I mean, how it is done, I have not done any research, but this is one. It would be very interesting to also probe the Hindu political economy of aging, right? What happens actually if we celebrate, the traditional way of aging? I mean, it is a huge transformation at the moment. How the families do take care of the, the population, the aged population. What is the mechanism? How there is a kind of sharing among different, kids and children. What kind of life really do they lead in that old age? I think these are other aspects because our purpose of our seminar is actually to find out, is there a Hindu way of aging? Is there kind of Hindu political economy? Right? I don't know. I mean, I'm just raising these questions for your kind of more probing and research. Well, I'll stop here.
Okay. Sir, आपको sir से कोई नहीं बोलता.
Please switch on the mic and introduce yourself.
Is it me or?
Please.
Okay.
No, okay. You after.
After him?
No, after him.
Sorry, sir.
You also want to ask.
As you like.
No,
One.
You wait for me.
I think Vrindavan is a classic locale for this kind of work and situation. Interestingly enough, when Thakur was about to leave his body, that is Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he made one will only, and that will was to his wife. He said, when I'm departed, you should go and live in Vrindavan. Everybody was shocked in the ashram. He said, how can we survive without the mother? But when Thakur left his body, his will was carried on. And she stayed there for a year, and Vivekananda and others with a lot of persuasion brought her back only after 1 year. That is number one. But Vrindavan is also a center of education of different kinds, and a deeper kind, with a lot of educational and healthcare concerns, but from different angles and perspectives. Ramakrishna Paramahansa himself, in his formative and educative period, he stayed for a longer time in Vrindavan to get that education within himself. That space is still celebrated. And then when Vivekananda was initiated by him, he said, you must specifically go and live in Vrindavan to learn what service means.